So welcome everybody. Thank you. I know that we're juggling around here trying to find the best time where people could get on, where it works with their work schedule, their kids' schedule, and all that kind of thing. So this is an experiment today. Thank you for those of you that have joined us, and I will record. Hopefully that works well. And I just wanted, we want to make this short and sweet, and so, but we're excited about all the things that we learned at conference, and we can't wait to share that with you guys. And so I'm going to kick that off a little bit, first of all, by just congratulating some folks. I always call this our new semester. We're starting in our new Juice Plus semester. And last semester, we had 3 new qualifiers on the team, and that was Timothy Oliver and Lisa Marino and Leslie Buentello. So congratulations to you guys. And we also had the contest where I would pay $50 for every HLP that you sponsored. Now, the company will also pay you for sponsoring HLPs. So that's really one of the biggest messages I got from conference is that's really where the money is. Because if somebody does an HLP, you're getting 500 BBC out of that. And it's a whole lot more than 169 with one trio. So I'm just encouraging everybody to do that. The other couple things that I wanted to just screen share with you briefly so you realize it's still on the table. And that is on your virtual office, wherever it went. Okay. On your virtual office under news, so you can all go to your virtual office and see this. The Express Track Sales Coordinator has been extended. So I want to make sure everybody goes to their virtual office and reads this in detail, because anybody who is a VF can still do this. Some people were shooting for it last month, but didn't make it. That's okay. We'll just regroup and start over. So here is, there's a calculator here. Here's a flyer. I always hate this because you have to go back and then re-share the thing. Can you all see that? So no. You can't see that Express Track to Sales Coordinator?
No. Well, the screen went away.
I know.
I see Rick's face.
Okay, let me go back and reshare. Now can you see it?
Yep.
So this is it. You can do it any 90-day window between now and the next conference. This starts, actually kind of started in February, goes through August 31st of 2019. So here we are, we're almost in May. But if you're already a VF, you can go back and capture the points you already have, and then it's just like it was before. Get a VF line. If you're already, and they have a little thing here about existing VFs. So a new person would need to create 4,000 points. An existing person needs to create 3,000 points. You need 1 VF line, that can be existing, and 2 DD lines. One of those has to be new within that 90-day period, and have your business qualified. So we can look at that, and we should do calls together to figure out exactly how many points you have, what you need, where you want to go, and then we'll come up with a plan on how to get there. One of the things that I really want to draw your attention to is when it talks about signing the application. So 1, 2, 3, go on these Express Track things start with when you sign your application. And particularly with the HLP Come On Along bonus, I want to really, really clarify that those orders, those 500 points, has to be in the 30-day window from the time they signed the application. So in order to get the free conference ticket, we've always used the window 30 days whenever you get your first order. That's not the case with these express track programs. So I don't want anybody to get caught short on that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You guys can go find it. And then the other thing I do want to take you back to. So there's a coaching guide we'll use. And here's the updated flyer. It's a shortened version of what I just showed you. The other piece that I want to really bring your attention to is that's 5 new household. So if you have Jane Addams as a customer already, but now her husband decides he's going to order, that doesn't count as a new household because she's already in the household. That makes sense, okay? So I think those are the primary things that we want to focus on. And then you guys, I mean, really and truly, I'm going to let Debbie and Sandy share for the most of this call because they invested in conference and they are the leaders on our team. And Rick was there too, so he's going to toss in his 2 cents worth. And they'll tag team a little bit. So we are going to start with, Rick has a little piece that he's going to share from an individual named Keith Abraham that was given to us free, some resources that I'll tell you about at the end of the call.
So you want me to go now, Carolyn?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Keith Abraham is a global authority on goal achievement, and Carolyn's going to share more about him, but there was one slide that really caught my attention in his presentation, and it was from focused on Walt Disney. And there were 4 things that Walt Disney said. He said, first of all, you need to think. Second, you need to believe. Third, you need to dream. And fourth, it's dare. And so I just thought I'd put some information around those as I thought about it from a Juice Plus thing. And to think is like think to understand your business, the products, product benefits, and the possibilities. Believe in the company, our leaders, our products, and in yourself and others. And then dream, what do you want for your family and business? What's on your bucket list? And then finally, dare. All the first 3 are insignificant unless you dare and step out and actually do it and implement it. And he said that his only regret in life, towards the end of his life, was that he regretted not dreaming bigger than he did. And that's pretty impressive from Walt Disney.
Thanks. Great job. Deb, you're up.
The conference was great. There were 2 things that stood out for me personally over the whole thing, and that was personal development and growth. Every journey is unique, and your own unique journey is about you and nobody else. And one of the things that stood out was comparison is a cancer, so you just don't want to go there. So I'm going to highlight a couple different speakers. One was Jill Sell, and I'm just going to go over a couple of key points. And if you want any notes on any of these that are further notes, then we can send you those, any of the detail ones. But Jill Sell said you need 3 success ingredients. And number 1 is you need to be teachable, coachable. Number 2 was you need to have a burning desire to succeed. And the third one was, if you want this to be a business, you need to show up and do the work. Several speakers talked about if you want a hobby, that's fine. You're going to be loved any way you do it. But if you want a business, then you have to show up and do the work. Another incredible speaker who we've been coached about before on the EWAL calls was Ashley Hudson. She's an amazing speaker. Her main thing is just to love the crap out of people. And I think she was up there on stage, and that's what she talked about. You just love with your heart and don't worry about anything else. But she had 4 different success ingredients. And she said, number 1, make sure you know what your story is. And your story does change from time to time. Go out and relate those stories. Know what your why is. The second thing she said was about 3-way calls. And of course, we've heard this before, and they make a true difference in your business. Third thing was events. And when haven't we heard about that? Events, getting them on your calendar. And the fourth thing was, and hit it again, was personal growth. And I just don't think that we can talk any less about doing events and personal growth. That's what it's all about. Jumping right into social media, before Rick and I do a panel thing, there was Ellie Shepley Montgomery and her mom, Tracy Pontarelli, who talked about social media. And social media has changed over the years, and it's okay to give ourselves permission to learn. You need to do less about liking people's posts and more about commenting and having quality of your relationships. Don't post flyers. Instead, if you've gone to a call or you've listened at a meeting and there's something that strikes you, give some value to other people by saying what it was that was valuable to you or maybe for them. Be an active and positive contributor. So you want to engage, you want to post yourself, and then you want to engage again. Comment back on your own posts. That way it brings them forward and it also continues to add value. Take time and attention, but have healthy boundaries. And I know that's one thing for me. I've got to have those healthy boundaries for good relationships to develop. And again, comparison is a cancer. So your own relationship and your own story, those are your own and unique to just you, no one else. The last part was Rick and I were going to talk about a panel discussion that was a group of ladies. And Rick, do you want to get it started or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say what I was going to say. Yeah, Holly Morris is the 50 Club NMD, and the panel was, I think, members of her team. She had 3 senior sales coordinators and a qualified national marketing director on the panel. And she said you can either choose courage or comfort, but not both. And I thought it was very interesting that the 2 most common prayer requests pertain to finance and health, which is all about what Juice Plus is all about, right? The most impressive information I thought from the panel came from a 22-year-old Victoria Schlumbrecht, and she recently graduated from LSU. And she built her business while she was going to LSU in her spare time, which again, I thought was very impressive. Her whole thing was plan. And she, over the weekend, she would plan out her entire week, and she would make room for Juice Plus in her schedule. And so there were, another question they had was, are you busy or productive? And there's a difference between the two. And then quick is not always best. Is it quality? It is quality that counts. So there were 5 key points, and then I'll wrap up my part that Victoria talked about. And she said, it's not about you, it's what is in it for them, people that you're bringing on board. Once people join, focus on them and help build belief. Number 3 was need to be able to paint the picture. And then engagement, get the team engaged and help them. Number 5, finally, just help them and let them lead, let them fail and fail forward. So she really was an impressive person for 22 years old. So that's all I had.
And for a 20-something-year-old, it impressed me how she said, okay about electronic calendars, but I'm a paper pencil girl. Got it all scheduled out so she could see the whole thing and the whole month, actually, that she was working on, and really scheduled on those Friday nights for the week ahead, which I thought for any 20-something-year-old to do, that was very impressive. The panel also talked about looking at your reports, looking wide and deep, and analyzing, you've got customers that are raving fans sitting there someplace, and maybe we haven't reached out to them as well as we could. Committing hard. It's about building strength and harvesting relationships. Several of the panel members talked about joining Team Z and helping with your organization and staying with those income producing activities. And the other thing was make sure that we have a duplicatable, if I can say it, duplicatable training system so that other people can follow it simply, using like the Freedom Revolution and going there, and not being afraid to stick to what others have done before us, because success leaves those clues.
That's great. And were you going to, let's see, where are we? Were you going to talk about the Healthy Start contest?
I think Rick was going to do that.
No, the contest part. You weren't? Oh.
No.
All right. Well, I will. But I got to pull up the details here really quick. The company this is pretty cool. The company has created a contest for our customers. So as we're talking to, doing customer care, and they've got kids on the Children's Health Study, they came up with this really cool plan. And so it is a trip to the Disney park of their choice. So here's what it does. It starts June 1st. Now, if you're not using Juice Plus Insights, I recommend that you do, because there's so much information there since conference. It's amazing. But this begins, July 1st, goes through June 1st through July 31st. And so we're going to encourage our customers to post pictures on Facebook and Instagram and any of the channels that they like to use about healthy changes that have happened for them and their family. And they're going to use the hashtag Healthy Starts. So it's hashtag Healthy Starts. And each post will enter that customer into the contest. I don't know how all this stuff works, but I know that hashtag takes them to someplace wonderful in the Juice Plus world. And then the more times they share, the more times they get entered in the contest. And so it's pretty cool. And somebody's going to get picked for a free trip to Disney. So if you want to go to the one in Florida, you want to go wherever you want, out west. I just think that's a really cool thing. And the whole point was customer engagement. So let's see where we are. I've got my agenda on my phone here. And where are we in the agenda? Have we covered all of Friday yet?
I think so.
Were you going to mention, Deb, anything about what's serving you well or not serving you well?
And that was the like head trash and that.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is, and they talked about things that are in your mind or like your head trash, what's going on, and complacency and those kind of things that for you new people, you probably don't have that yet because you're so energized and smiling, and we love that. So I think it's just the main thing is just to keep going and treating it like a business and not being afraid to be who you are and to go out and just talk to people and love people. And I have detailed notes if anybody wants anything further.
Okay. All right. So I think let's take a little break in what we were going to present. Loree is with us. Loree came to conference, and you don't have to share a lot, just a nugget, something that you appreciated, a takeaway that stood out to you. Maybe, I know you have a daughter who is quite the athlete and took lots of videos about that. So I see your wonderful smile. It's great to see you today. Just give us something.
What I got out of it, just a few highlights. It'll be something quick, but Brittany Hochever, who's the Olympic volleyball player, and what a great representative, and her speech. The fact that Juice Plus is all natural, it passes the drug testing, no worries there with any artificial anything. Still healthy for them. And when she travels, she never knows what type of food she's going to be eating. Sometimes not so good of food. And it's so convenient and packable to bring along. Thank you, Sandy, for giving me some extra packs when we were there. And the bars, I just love these things. And also, my story being diabetic, great snacks. I never feel guilty eating these in between my meals, and I know it's all positive and all good for me. And I think that Brittany Hochever feels the same way, and great for sports and athletes. And for Rachel Patton, who sang the fight song, I was so impressed that she felt so comfortable with us at this meeting and what we represent. She has a month-old baby or 2-month-old newborn. She has 2 children, 2-month-old baby. And she has said that she's going to go on tour in May. And she wasn't quite ready for that with nursing. And she was so comfortable talking to us about everything with her baby. And you could tell that nervousness, new mother nervousness was within her yet. But she was able to freely talk to us about everything of child rearing and needing to go nurse. And you would never find that at any other conference. And I just felt so supportive of her because I feel that this was going to get her back into routine and get her ready and for going out on her May tour, something she would never say at her regular concerts. It seemed like she had a lot of fun along with us.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of fun with you, and we're so glad that you were with us. And it's always fun to take somebody new to conference and see conference through their eyes. And so I'll just take a brief moment to make an advertisement for the next one because it's in Austin. We all have tons of goals and tons of opportunity. And so mark your calendar in red ink that this is October 17th through the 19th. And as long as you're there on Thursday morning, I mean, we always go in and get there a day early and get settled, but you know, if time's an issue, you can come in Thursday morning. It starts in the afternoon, and there's just nothing that builds your belief. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Lori, but did this open your eyes to see that Juice Plus is so much more than what you had any idea it could possibly be?
Oh, yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you didn't get to go to that, we do have summits coming up this summer. The one that the company's hoping that we will attend is in Chicago, June 28th through the 29th. And if you go on your phone, you can go to the App Store, bring up the Juice Plus Live app. You can actually register for that summit. It's a Friday night and a Saturday, and Dr. Ewald and his wife Karen, we're on their team, they're 100 Club National Marketing Directors. They're going to be hosting an after the conference or the summit afternoon, just kind of a time that their team from all over the country. It's really cool to get to be with not just us, not just with Team Proactive, but the whole Ewald team. And so there'll be food and drink at that event. And I just encourage you to register early, that you can even register for hotel rooms. You can buddy up. And they picked that one for us because it's within a 6-hour drive. Terry, I think the closest one for you will be Providence, Rhode Island, which is in August. There's also one in Charlotte. And then Leslie, you've got something coming up. A big deal. Guy Debut is going to be speaking on May 3rd and 4th, I believe, in Dallas. So there's big events for everybody, no matter where you live. And that's the fun part about our team, is we're all over. So let's go to Sandy. You want to share a few things, takeaways?
Sure. Shannon Miller was there. She is the most decorated American gymnast. She has 7 Olympic medals and 9 World Championship medals, and she's amazing. And I totally remember in '96 when she was on that team, the Magnificent 7 team. So through all of her gymnastics training and everything, she learned that it's in the falls that we learn how to get back up. And that's crucial for us. And goal setting is crucial, because that's what gets us from where we are today to where we want to be. So she wrote long-term goals on one side of an index card and then wrote out the short-term goals. That's each single step that it took to get to that long-term goal on the other side. So that was a kind of a brain thing for me because I tend to see the long-term, but I don't make a plan to get there. So that was huge. It's not enough to set the goals. It takes follow through. And the magic happens in the work that we do every single day when no one's watching. Shannon wasn't the most talented one in the gym. Her coach said that. She was just the one who worked the hardest. Athletes work on strength and flexibility and speed, all the workout stuff, but they miss the fuel part, the nutrition piece. And if we don't have the nutrients, it's like putting cheap gas in a car, never changing or adding oil and expecting the engine to run indefinitely. And it won't. And we won't. Eventually, the engine's going to break down if you don't maintain the car. So why is it people can't understand that we're also going to break down if we don't maintain our bodies? And this is what Juice Plus does. It helps us maintain. So she took Juice Plus while she was training, but she slacked off in college and didn't resume it afterward. But then a regular gynecological checkup revealed ovarian cancer. So keep those appointments. This was in her regular appointment that she almost canceled. She went through chemo and radiation. It destroyed her immune system. She got sick so often, and it took a really long time to recover. So she went into a doctor's office looking for help with her immune system and saw brochures for Juice Plus and said, oh my gosh, I used to take that when I was training. And she wondered why she stopped. And then she walked into a gym, I think it was later that day, and saw a sign for Juice Plus. And she said, it's a sign. I'm going, you think? So she started back on Juice Plus and saw a huge difference in her immune system. When we share Juice Plus, we're asking people to take a look at their health and what they need to do to protect their health. That is a gift to that person. Why is it we tend to think we're asking something of somebody when we share Juice Plus? We are giving them a gift. We need to get this through our heads that this is for them. This is not for us just because we make money off of it. This is a mission because we care about people getting healthy and we get paid to help them. The next thing on Saturday was a big closing section. I had several different people commit, simplify, believe, and community. Commitment, show up. Consistent action every day yields results. And there's a whole book on that. Carolyn can tell you the name of it. It has, maybe it's called One Small Thing, and it's about the fact that when you do just a little every single day, it really, really adds up. We must commit to excellence. Realize that what we are doing really matters. It matters to us. It matters to our families. It matters to every single person that we share the gift of health with. It matters to our world, what we're doing. This is huge. One of them said, I could not make a difference selling Tupperware or makeup or purses or something. We're making a difference in people's lives and changing lives with this. Another thing that meant a lot to me was, what is my someday? Someday I will blank. Fill in the blank. What do I need to do to make that happen? So that was pretty huge. What is my someday? You might take a minute to think about that. Mike Ewald, he was awesome as usual. He said, simplify. Keep it simple so that you can duplicate. You don't want other people to look and think, wow, I could never do that. You want them to say, hey, I could do that. And you want them to be attracted to that because of what they see in you. Juice Plus, he said, doesn't cure anything. It just gives the body what it needs to heal itself. And we are giving the gift of health to people. So if we care about other people and we live the mission and the message, take care of ourselves, be the change that we want to see, we'll attract people to that mission and that message. So be that person. The secret sauce is caring. It's love. Love means caring about them more than we care about ourselves. It's serving them. It's having servant heart, servant leadership. And Mike just exemplifies that, and we know he does. That's to our team and to our world. So just, he said too, love the crap out of people. Just love, love, love. And he's a great example of that to us. And the last part's believe. Believe, the definition was to have confidence in the truth. This was Catherine Lee. She said, the cry of all of our hearts is, do you see me? Do I have what it takes? Am I enough? Am I lovable? Am I worthy? Do I belong? And we need to let people know, we need to reach out and let people know that they are seen. They are enough. They're worthy of love and belonging. We need to reach in and embrace them, just embrace them and bring them into belonging. We have a community, a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. Yes, that's straight from the dictionary. A feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. And what we need to be doing is reaching out to our world and telling them, I pick you.
Thank you, Sandy, so much. You guys have done a great job. See, I don't have to do it. That's the best part. These guys went, they absorbed tons of information, and I just appreciate you so much for sharing the things that were on your heart. And a couple things of what you've said have stood out to me. How do we make some of this happen? What are the tools? Events and connection calls. So when I look at what Keith Abraham said, he was fantastic. He gave the national marketing directors a book, which I guess I took downstairs, called Focus, which I thought was pretty interesting since that was my word for the year. But he also, and I will post this in our Facebook page, he gave us a blog for free that we can take part of. And one of the things that he called us to action on the main stage was to write down 100 things that you want to do. And so Rick and I want to do that together as a couple. And you can do it with your spouse, you can do it by yourself. But I encourage you to do that. And then if you go into his blog and you post your 100 things, you get something for it. And so I also encourage you, we just hit the highlights. Also on our Facebook page, I posted a recap from conference. So I encourage you to go take a look at that. We talked about a few different things, but all of it is just totally, totally amazing. And so Keith Abraham said, clarity, confidence, certainty, and consistency. Those are the things that create a successful business for each of us. So I'm excited about what we're doing. We are making a difference, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do next and who are the new people that you're going to bring into our team to be a part of this great community. If you'll go to Juice Plus Insights, all the new National Marketing Director speeches are in there. One of these women said, I didn't need any money, but I saw this woman talking about her life, not about Juice Plus, her life, and I was fascinated because I knew her in high school, and I'm thinking, what is she doing? And so she started stalking her, and eventually she joined the mission, and she's become a national marketing director because she wanted our community. And that's what I think that we have is so, so awesome. The best fun part about, I mean, you learn all this great stuff, but we get to be together. So please plan on coming to Austin. We can look at, actually, I met a guy when we were in Napa, and he does bed and breakfast, or Airbnbs, that's what he does. So if you want one of those, I can hook you up with him. But it's going to be a great time, and I just appreciate each of you. Go to calendly.com, CALENDLY.com/Carolyn Russ, and let's schedule some connection calls with people because they're really powerful. And I want to end the recording